I started climbing when I was, I think, 7 years old. Very quickly, I loved the sport. I did everything possible to do some climbing every day.
Okay. That's good.
I sometimes think if the accident never occurred, what would have happened to my life? Where would I have gone?
In 1982, Hugh Hare and a friend set out to climb Mount Washington in New Hampshire. When they started the hike, it was lightly snowing, but the shower turned into a storm. The boys got disoriented and wandered through the storm for 3 days and nights. Hugh fell 3 times through the fragile ice into a river. Exposed to the elements, they grew sick and weak. Suffering from frostbite, they started to lose sensation in their limbs. Hugh was near death. Eventually, a woman out snowshoeing came across a set of footprints. Within hours, Jeff and Hugh were rescued and taken to safety. Doctors tried to salvage what they could of Hugh's legs, but in the end, he lost both his legs below the knee to gangrene. It took many intricate surgeries before he could even walk again, but Hugh still wanted to climb.
It occurred to me that the legs that were given to me were designed for the horizontal world, for walking. And what I needed to do is to redesign the legs for the vertical world. So I set out on this mission. I decided that I didn't need a heel for climbing, so I cut off the heel. I decided that the optimal climbing foot should be very short, should be like a baby's foot in length.
Hugh constructed a number of prosthetic legs. Instead of compromising his ability to climb, Hugh's new legs were in some ways more versatile than before.
I began actually ascending rock faces that I could not have ascended before the accident with biological legs. Some of my colleagues in the climbing world accused me of cheating, which was music to my ears, because to me that meant that they fully accepted my physical difference.
Hugh discovered a new passion. He earned his Ph.D. in biophysics and now designs advanced prosthetics at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He's now working on getting muscle tissue to survive outside the body, perhaps to power an artificial limb. He's developing ways to allow the brain to manipulate a prosthesis. He's even looking to the animal world for design ideas.
The problem of developing an artificial leg is very difficult. So we came up with the idea of, well, let's look to nature. One could use the muscle activity at the hip to control the energetics of the ankle. And this is the example of the camel.
A camel's leg is thin, with the bulk of its muscle on its hip, much like an amputee.
So instead of putting a motor at the ankle, the idea in my head is to build an above-knee prosthesis where the energetics of the hip muscles can be harnessed to power the ankle. That can be done by a series of springs that not only span a single joint, but span multiple joints, the knee and the ankle.
Hugh's camel leg takes its first steps across a computer screen. The implications of Hugh's ideas are astounding. If his ideas are implemented successfully, they could represent a revolution in the field of prosthetics.
It works. We're at the brink of a new age. I could imagine in the coming years a prosthesis that will enable an amputee to run faster than is possible with a biological leg. I could imagine that people with biological legs will choose to get their legs amputated so they can achieve the same performance advantage. I can imagine that.